Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Datacraft. Last episode, we completely redid the Velociraptor paddock, and I also said last episode that I was going to make some changes to the already very different paddock. So, what I've done, as you can see here, I fixed the problem of raptors escaping, go around these trees, because I don't want to remove the trees. They look I really like how they look. Underneath the entire fence, I put in these barrier blocks, which is the same blocks that Jack used in his invisible maze. So he showed me those. That will make sure that at any Y level, any animal cannot cross over this fence at all. There we go. That does work. It's still working, just checking. And the other change I've made is I've also redone the top of this. I thought putting in a banner idea would be brilliant with the logo, or what closest to getting the logo. So this is the logo for the paddocks, with a bit on red at the top and bottom to say that this is a carnivore. And I put it on both sides. And I've just taken the box because I think it looks nicer like this. I've also been playing around with banners a little bit more. In the visitor centre, the exterior hasn't changed. The interior, I put these banners around. It's an exact replication of this logo. The only thing I didn't like was just to make that to the maximum patterns you can put on a banner. Seriously? So I had to make a completely different banner for the paddocks. These banners are representing the park itself. And yes, I am thinking of putting posts up on the other side of the road and on both sides around here with those banners on. Because I think it will make it look much more like a park. And doing the same thing through these doors in this area, because this area is going to be for carnivores. The carnivore paddock banners makes identical to the carnivore paddock banners, but instead of the red bits on the top and bottom, make it green, the herbivore valley, and just use the red one again for the carnivore. And perhaps if I want to do a bird cage somewhere, yes, I'll probably do it around on this bit of land here. I do like this. Or against the backdrop of that mountain. I can do them top and bottom bits yellow. Just like they are in Jurassic World the game. So, priority today is Dilophosaurus. So let's jump into Jurassic World the game and show you the inspiration for my Dilophosaurus. So welcome back to Jurassic World the game. As you can see, I have been playing this game a lot, and now I have a lot more dinosaurs. And park looking much more full, so I can have more of a decision what dinosaurs to have. So we have my amphibians over here. Then here are my pterosaurs. These are the domes I was talking about. These are what the dome could be inspired by. I decided to do a pterosaur, which is a flying dinosaur. Then all my carnivores are over here. Herbivores there. And that mainly the herbivores there. Except from my boss, which is Omega 9. Just a disclaimer, if I don't have a T-Rex by the time I'm making the T-Rex, which I think I will have one, I will have to base it off of this. And then take away all the extra bits. But we'll see where I am in progress in this game at that point. But today, we are interested in my Dilophosaurus. Which is this guy. See, if you see, it is very similar to Velociraptor. It's just portions are done in a different way. So what I'm going to do, take some images of this guy and pop him in Blockbench, which I'll alter the proportions This has got a narrower head, and body is about the same. Scratching himself there. But then the challenge will be this. Those frills on the side of its head. That is what makes a Dilophosaurus instantly recognisable. So I'm going to put some pattern on them frills, and then the other thing I know I'm going to do is I'm going to put these pins on the top of its head. So, let's get into the time lapse, shall we? Before we got onto the time lapse, I've imported the raptor model, and I've just changed it into the shape of the Dilophosaurus. It looks like this is actually going to work quite well. So all I'm going to have to do is fix the body shape, because if we set the angle to west, that's what the body shape is supposed to be. And then to east, that's what it is. So if I can just fix some proportions, like make the body a bit of a different shape, then especially up here, it's supposed to be a straight line on the Dilophosaurus, but isn't on the raptor. And then this just needs getting bigger, or it will just moving this stuff around. Because if we just get rid of the raptor, yeah, just needs a bit of a moving around of the tail, and that will look perfectly. So now let's get on to the time lapse to actually make this thing. So far, quite promising. I think that was quite a successful thing. To be honest, Dilophosaurus is my favourite out of all of them, so I was really excited for this one. I've also done some changes to the raptor as well, just because I thought the eyes looked weird. So let's go and have a look. So here they are. I've sunk the eyes into the head a little bit so it looks much better, so they're not popping out of their head. So if I set time to night, you can see I've also given them glowing eyes, which I think looks really neat. So this is my Dilophosaurus. So yep, I haven't seen him do that before. Okay. Come on. Oh, you decided to go in there, have you? So, this is what he's looking like. And yes, he's got glowing eyes. And I did decide to change the crest literally last minute in the time lapse, which I think it looks really nice. If I spawn one of these guys in and go into survival mode, this is what they do to attack. You going to? There we go. It's got me now. So it gives you, when you get close to him, it gives you a blindness effect, and then he will just spit poison at you until you're down to half a heart. And he'll just continue spitting poison at you. At the moment, you don't want to do it in this gap. So that's fine. So instead, I think it was a bad idea to it there. Summon it here instead. There you are. Here we go. Now we can see the animation. Okay, it will just keep splashing me with potions. And himself. But that's why we're not going to be able to feed these guys. Well, because they will literally just kill themselves. And yes, I am. Okay, the blindness was worn off. I think they look really cool. I know Dilophosaurus is evolutionally designed to live literally anywhere. So this is going to be kind of interesting what I'm going to do here. I might keep that mountain and then just block that hole off, because in testing I've got a backup of this world and they were just falling down here and they couldn't get back up, which is fair enough. And also they were going down right in the corner and getting stuck at the bottom. I'll have to sort this out as well, because they're getting stuck down there. So far, I think this Dilophosaurus has been very successful in what I wanted to do with it. And also gave me the great idea to give all the dinosaurs are now going to have glowing eyes, because I think that just looks a lot better than what I had before. So now we have an enclosure to build. So let's roll the time lapse. Sorry, I was quite worrying about this enclosure because, as I've said earlier, the Dilophosaurus lives in changing environments. So I needed to do something quite really completely different to what I did with the raptors. So let's have a look at how I got on. And I've also done the road. So I'll go through the gate. Here is this lovely road. And then I thought popping in a path at the side which we can walk on makes this area look a whole lot better. And that is the Dilophosaurus enclosure. So I ended up deciding not to take the mountain down, instead making it look like a mountain. So I put some snow on the top of it. I've completely sealed the hole that went here. And I've made this side into a bit of a waterfall area with some water down here. So it's quite swampy because Dilophosaurus mainly lives in a swampy environment. I'm going to remove all these vines later because turns out I don't actually like them. They just come when you grow the trees, unfortunately. So, and then around, I've used the jungle to fill in gaps, and I've got another swampy area down here. I think later, adding some lily pads, I think will really make this area pop. I've got a viewing bit here when we come down the stairs, if you can see the Dilophosaurus from here. And I have decided to pop in a feeding platform. We'll just push the button. We're summoning a pig. But overall, I'm really happy with the road. And these copper lanterns, I think they've only just been added, so I think they look quite interesting. So I put them top of here because they're a different shade than the other lanterns than these, so they'll stick out. And I think it works really well. Personally, I want to see what this area looks like at night. So here it is. And my, does it look glorious. Especially this road in the middle. You can definitely see where you're going. I'm a big fan of the fences on each side. I can actually see into the enclosure with a bit of light over there. I'll explain that later. And you can kind of see the way I've framed it. You can see that looks like a mountain. It looks taller than it actually is. Well, it is quite tall compared to this enclosure, which just looks like a line of trees. I mean, you can see the fence on the other side. You definitely can't on this one. Also in the enclosure, let's get rid of this pig. We've also added a different kind of hatchery. This time, it's embedded into the landscape. So I've had to put a fake roof with some fake stumps. And in here, you've got the Dilophosaurus watching area, the Dilophosaurus lab, or whatever we want to call it. Which actually, for a very long corridor, connects directly to the genetics lab. So that's cool. Well, I think it's cool. So we have an incubator there, and then we can access the visitor center up here. If we want to, and I think this still looks brilliant at night. So now, I think it's time to hatch our Dilophosaurus. That's going to be in there permanently. So I'm going to go into the hatchery. And just place down 1, 2, 3, I think 4 is a healthy amount. Now we're just going to wait for them to hatch. Oh, there we go. There's 1, 2. Forgot to change the pitch on the babies. So look at this guy. Another one there. Running straight out, which is good. And there we go. Those are our Dilophosaurus. At night. in the enclosure. The game here is you want to try and spot the dinosaurs. So these are going to be quite hard to spot at the moment because they're only babies. So I've given them glowing eyes to help. Hopefully, to help. Are they still over there? Or they've running off? So you do want to go over here. Okay. So what? Now he's gone. Hello. I see ya. Now let's summon in the pig, see what they do. Yep. They're going after. They've. So yep, they're definitely going after it and poisoning themselves in the process. When you poison, it takes you down to half a heart, and if you drop one block or a couple of blocks like that, you will just die. So I've given the Velociraptors so they don't take full damage, so they can live. Then once the poison effect's worn off, we can go around and give them some healing potions. Because right now, this pig's got poison. Let me guess, give him one hit. He's dead. So they don't actually kill the animal, they just poison it. So I have decided to just give the final touches to both enclosures, not just the Velociraptor. You can see what I have in my inventory. I've got some different types of grass, including dry grass, which I've just discovered today. And this thing is useful for this project. So, let's start with the Velociraptor. So, all I think it needed was a bit of brown foliage. I think this looks a whole lot better. I think I've added quite a lot. And I think it really elevates the fact that it's a forest with animals running around in it. So I'm going to go down here. You can really see the effect it has. And the firefly bush is giving these fireflies, which I think I really like the look of around animals enclosures. And in the Dilophosaurus enclosure, even more heavier with the dry grass because they spout poison and I'll dry out the grass as well. And I've just put these everywhere, so I think this looks a whole lot better. And some lily pads on the pond. Hello! I've got some fully grown Dilophosaurus. You gonna come out? No? That's it, there you go. Now you're on a lily pad. So they can just walk around. Until they trip. You're fine because you like water. That's why there's 2 ponds in here. Don't you? Ah. So then over here, another Dilophosaurus. And really showing how much I popped in here just to get a feel of what I wanted to do. Even around here, I put lily pads on this guy with some dry grass. So I think this really is getting the point across of the damaged ground. And off camera, I am probably going to fill. I know I am going to fill this area with trees, just like I did on the other side with the raptor. Had a section here that was just blank, filled it with trees. It's a lot better. So I'm going to do the side of this with trees. So I'm going to give the side of this mountain the treatment I gave. So I'll give it this treatment, and that's probably what next episode's going to be about. That's all we have time for in this episode. And so if you enjoyed it, you might as well give the subscribe, and that will really help me out. I hope you enjoyed that episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!